So, unsurprisingly, Naoya Inoue stops Paul Butler to become the undisputed bantamweight champion. Boy, if ever there has been a cure for insomnia, this fight was it. Um, if you have time to spare, spend it watching something else, is what I'll say, because this fight was dull as anything. Um, you've probably seen it by now, or you've seen people's takes, but Paul Butler, and in advance, I I apologise if I call him Gerard Butler by accident, because Paul Butler is just such a forgetful name that I go to call him Gerard Butler every time. But Butler was just so negative in this fight. He was really just there to survive and see if he could run down the clock from. I think he was kind of scoping out the lay of the land in round one, maybe part of round two. But he very quickly realised that there was just a massive gulfing class between himself and Inoue. And the whole fight really consisted of Paul Butler with his gloves up, moving backwards, moving laterally along the ropes, just looking to run down the clock, as I say. And Inoue was just in front of him the entire time, landing shots. Some shots were partially blocked, but it was really just Inoue. There were flashes throughout the fight, very few, where Butler would catch Inoue during a lapse of concentration or a defensive lapse, and he'd attempt some shots, and some of them would land. You know, you've got to give some credit to Butler. He'd try sporadically and land sporadically, but there was just nothing on his shots. Paul Butler not noted as a puncher at all, and you could tell. So not only was he not landing very often, but even when he did land, there was just no significant effect. And I guess you could probably leverage the criticism towards in a way that sometimes he can be a bit, I don't want to say one-dimensional, but sometimes he runs out of ideas and maybe just seems a bit one-paced. And I understand that, certainly, but I think it's very difficult to look good sometimes against someone who's really not giving you anything to work with. You know, not having the right dance partner is the saying that's commonly used. That was very much the case with this fight. I don't think you can really fault Inoue too much. I think most people were probably just screaming at their TV screens that just begging Inoue to end the fight sooner. But nevertheless, he ended the fight in the 11th round, so he had to sit through 10 and a half rounds of not much. But even the knockout, it wasn't really a knockout. Even the stoppage itself was kind of flat, because Paul Butler, he shipped a couple of shots and really was just bundled to the floor. His reaction indicated that he had taken quite a heavy body shot, because he was rolling onto his back and looking up in the air and groaning and whatnot. But I don't know, it was just, the whole thing was just like, it was so flat, it was so subpar. No fault of Inoue's really. This is a very significant fight, not just for him in his career, but boxing, obviously, being becoming the first undisputed bantamweight champion of the four belt era, as well as the first Asian undisputed champion of the four belt era. So this is very significant. The most significant fight of his career happened to be one of the most mundane runouts of his career. So it's really just going to be what's next for him. I think the commentary were talking about him moving up to 122 pounds. That would be interesting, I suppose. I'm not really sure who's at 122 pounds, to be honest. I don't really follow the lighter weight classes that closely. I'm not really doing my due diligence. But yeah, I guess that would be interesting. See what kind of matchups he can get involved with. Paul Butler, on the other hand, I think he's most likely going to retire after this fight, and I don't think many people are going to be too upset about that. But yeah, you know what? I think listening to this video is probably all you need to know about this fight, because the stoppage wasn't even that spectacular. Could you look into the technique of Inoue? I guess. Very, very sharp puncher. Seems to be a good combination puncher, very agile. You come to expect these things in the lower weight classes because the guys are just so small that, you know, they're like 5 foot nothing. They're going to be very agile. They're going to be very light and quick. But then obviously the thing is with Inoue is he has this massive, this just freakish power. And it is truly freakish because when you consider that this guy is, what, 50 something kilos, is he even 8 stone? Probably not. But he can really punch, and you hear it when the Japanese crowd, they're so quiet. So you can hear all the noises in the ring, and he lands these massive bombs. And even if they're blocked, you can just hear the impact of them. And I think that really is genuine power. I don't think it's any fake stuff. I think by now we all kind of know Inoue he's proven himself to be a formidable puncher and a formidable finisher as well. So yeah, that's really this fight in a nutshell. Not really much to look into in my opinion. It was a very straightforward, very simple victory for Inoue, and also a very forgettable fight, which is it's always a shame when meaningful fights like this are so forgettable, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm sure Inoue is going to look to continue this form at 122 pounds, so it's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here. Have you seen this fight? What did you make of it? Let me know in the comment section below. Did you, for some reason, somehow find this to be an entertaining fight? If you did, I'd say lay off the drugs. But yeah, I'll leave it there for now, people. Let me know what you think down below. But for now, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next video.